What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Fitment Industries Garage, and we are here today with another episode of What Wheels Fit, where we go over all sorts of different types of wheel, tire, and suspension setups for different vehicles to help you out in your journey to find out, new sets of wheels or a new set of suspension for your car. I'm Giles from Fitment Industries, and today we are going to be going over a car that, has been requested quite a bit for some reason, and that is the Chevy Cruze. Before we go ahead and get right into it, of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out some of the new series that we have right here on the Fitment Industries Garage channel. And of course, once you're done with this video and know what wheels are going to fit your Chevy Cruze, don't forget to hit us up over at fitmentindustries.com, where we have a bunch of wheel, tire, and suspension options for not only Chevy Cruzes, but for a ton of other cars as well. The Chevy Cruze is just one of those cars that some people just kind of end up with because they needed something affordable and they needed something practical. However, that doesn't mean that people don't end up modifying those types of cars, and that's just how it goes. Similar to the Dodge Neon, the Cruze is exactly that. It's a solid, practical daily driver that has an Ecotec engine, and it looks damn good lowered on some wheels, which is probably the reason why you're here watching this video right now, trying to figure out what wheels are going to fit your Chevy Cruze and what you should go with as far as, like a wheel choice, like what looks good and all that sort of stuff. So without further ado, let's get into all of the details. What we're gonna do is take a look at some of the Chevy Cruzes that have been added or uploaded to the Fitment Industries gallery over at fitmentindustries.com and dive into exactly what people are running on these cars as far as wheel size, tire size, suspension setups, all that sort of good stuff. And not only give a good real world example of what those setups look like, but also what other things may be needed or required to achieve that look on these cars. So what we did is took a bunch of these cars and broke them up into some different categories that we're going to be going over. The first category is going to be for those who want to maintain that practicality and daily drivability of the Chevy Cruze, but want to make it their own a little bit by adding some of that aftermarket twist on it, by throwing some wheels on it, maybe lowering on some lowering springs or coilovers or whatever that might be, but nothing too crazy that it's gonna, take away from what the car actually is. So all that being said, let's take a look at our first car of the day, which is this 2014 sitting on some niche NR6 wheels with an 18x8 size and a plus 40 offset. Now for tires, these are wrapped in a 225/45 BF Goodrich, and then for suspension, we are lowered a little bit on some Eibach lowering springs. Now, as you can see, we get a nearly flush fitment with this setup. Up next, we have a 2013 with some Miro Type 111s, 18x8.5 plus 35 for this setup. So we're going up and width a little bit and then getting a slightly more aggressive with that offset compared to our last car. 225/40 for the tire size, and then again sitting on some Eibach lowering springs, which is a pretty popular choice. As you can see, this is a little bit of a more flush fitment than the last car with the help of that wider wheel and that lower offset. And then our last car for this category, we're going to take a look at this 2013 with some ESR SR11 wheels. Now these are 17x9 plus 30 for the size with a 225/45 Nitto NT555 tire. And this is our first car on coilovers that we see. So this is BC Racing to be exact. So even though this is a 17-inch wheel, we do go up to a 9-inch width and go down to a plus 30 offset, bringing a real nice flush fitment with help from those BC Racing coils. Moving on to category number 2, we're gonna start getting a little more aggressive with the fitment. For these cars, rolled fenders become pretty regular as we get wider with the widths and lowered in the offsets and all that sort of good stuff. First car of the category, we're going to take a look at this 2013 with some Avant Garde M220s. Now this is an 18x9 plus 35 with a 225/45 tire. Fenders pulled and rolled to get some extra clearance, but still running into a slight rub at full turn. For the suspension, this car is sitting on some K-Sport coilovers, bringing that ride height down pretty dang low. Up next, we have a 2015 with some VIP modular VRC 110s, 18x9.5 plus 38, some Nankang 215/35 tires, and then sitting on some Airlift Performance air suspension. Now the fenders, they just ditched them. They got rid of the fender liners to help the car air out without crushing anything that's in there. And then for our last category, we have a 2015 with some ESR SR11s, 18x9.5 plus 35 with a 215/35 tire, and then yet again, sitting on some K-Sport coilovers. Now, typically we go over some of the wildest and craziest setups that we see in the gallery for each car. However, we don't really have anything too wild or crazy at the moment for the Chevy Cruze. So Unfortunately, we don't have anything to go over for that. So 9.5 plus 35 is about the widest and the most aggressive that we see right now, which is unfortunate. But however, if you want to change that and you do have a Chevy Cruze, you know, that's pretty crazy, please add it to the gallery. It's a tool that we use to help everybody out on their fitment. And like I said, it's where we grabbed all the cars from for today's video and all the other What Fits videos. That being said, if you didn't see the exact setup you're looking for, hop on over to the gallery for yourself. Feel free to do so and check out all the other Chevy Cruzes for yourself. See what they're running for sizes, you know, any modifications needed, all that sort of good stuff. But I'm Gels from Fitment Industries. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this helped you out. Pick out some wheels, all this sort of good stuff. We'll talk to you later. Peace.